Story of Charles Dickens, The Value of Imagination. Charles Dickens was born in 1812. His father was a clerk in southern England. He wasn't paying much, so the family lived in an old run-down house. Then Mr. Dickens lost his job, so they moved to London. Mr. Dickens still couldn't find a work and went deep into debt. One day, the police showed up and asked Mr. Dickens if he can pay his debt. When Mr. Dickens said he didn't have enough money, one police answered that he had to go to debtor's prison with no one to support them. Mrs. Dickens and the children, except Charles, moved into prison with their father. Though Charles was only 12 years old, he got a job in a dirty black shoe polish factory, working 12-hour days. He scarcely made enough money to buy bread and rent a bed in an old room. Charles wondered what would become of him. Desperate, Charles' father studied shorthand. When he received some money from a relative, he paid his debts and got out of prison, and then he found a work as a course reporter. Charles quit his work and went to school. The teacher was cruel, but Charles studied hard and learned quickly. He also studied people, paying attention what they did and why they did it. He also noticed the look and smell of place. After 2 years, he got a job as a reporter at England's Houses of Parliament. Though he found it fascinating, he wondered why they don't adopt laws to help poor people. Then one day Dickens decided to be imaginative, so he wrote a story of his own. Every character seems to be a little like someone who he had known. Finally, one evening he dropped off his story under the pseudonym boss at the monthly magazine office. A month later, Dickens was shouting joyfully, "They printed my stories, I'm an author." The magazine wanted more and more stories by boss. Soon Dickens was writing stories about the children working in factories, the families live in debtor's prison, and poor people being hungry. He made the story fun to read, in high hope that people would do something about the things that were wrong. Dickens wrote stories about people such as David Copperfield and Oliver Twist. Folks around the world were fascinated by these people that his imagination brought to life. In Dickens' story, people can conceive the way that a shoe polish factory look, or learn how a debtor's prison feels. Dickens' books also became popular in America. When he went to America to read his stories to people, large throngs greeted him. While he was there, England passed laws to protect children who had to work. The Parliament also closed debtor prison and passed laws so poor children could attend school. After Dickens returned from America, a great dinner was given in his honor. Your imagination, Mr. Dickens, has given us great pretty sure," said a host. "You have become the most popular novelist of our times, and you have helped to change some of our laws so that they are more fair to people," one woman exclaimed excitedly when she met him on the street. "Mr. Dickens, let me touch the hand that has filled my home with many friends. That pleased Dickens the most."
好，